Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency and Wally Hatchett's Comfort Food and Drinks at 6439 Summer Avenue.
Good Saturday morning, everyone. Once again, it is Outdoors with Larry Ray, the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray show. All things you'd want to know about the outdoors, you'll find out here on Outdoors with Larry Ray, whether it's hunting, fishing. Oh, I said the word, didn't I?
He said
Kayaking,
the word. He said the
backpacking, bird watching, everything you'd want to know, you'll find out about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And now, without further fanfare, the oracle of the outdoors, the one and only Larry Ray.
Oh, he did say it. He did, didn't he? He snuck it in there, didn't he? Yeah.
He did.
He's got the FM voice, doesn't he?
Oh, man, tell me about it.
Yeah.
FM voice, AM voice, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we just need to do commercials with Frank, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, Frank Barton did a great job of introducing whoever this is. But, hey, as we roll into our 22nd year on the air, which is hard to believe, but Buck may find that hard to believe, too, that we've been doing this for over 2 decades, and Buck was one of the first guests that we had on the show when we were in the dungeon down on Channel 5 over there way back in there. Of course, Frank has been with us for over 10 years, and John, of course, I've known John previous life at
Avery days,
Avery days, and it's kind of strange. Two of our co-hosts both have Avery ties with Bill Cooksey and you. And so we appreciate you two guys. And, again, I got to show a shout-out one more time to my good friends at Nomad Hunting Gear. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but they do hook clothing and Nomad Hunting Gear. The Josh Reed, they've been keeping track of my cancer journey and said when I was cancer-free, we're going to send you a care package. And I thought I'd get a shirt and a cap. Well, it was over $1,000 worth of hunting clothes. Came in a box for Larry Ray.
Wow, that's awesome.
That was awesome.
It was one piece.
Yes, that's what.
Yeah, in this day and age, that could be one thing. $1,000.
No,
I mean,
it was a lot of things in there. You know, they left the price on there, so I know.
Oh,
but they did donate a couple of things to give to the TOWA silent auction up there. But anyway. I just want to shout out to those guys because it was more than I really thought. And I will be well-dressed when the duck calls come out. I was well-dressed for deer hunting on this past Monday. But anyway, let's talk ducks now. Okay, we're going to close out this show, this segment of the show. And Frank brought up an interesting – he had a question. Okay, Frank, what was the question you asked me?
Well, I asked you if you knew where the Peabody ducks actually came from originally.
And then Buck Gardner is the historian of this show today.
I was actually alive way back.
You were actually
Buck was the only one that knew the answer besides me.
He was the original.
Right.
Yeah, and what was the answer to that, Buck?
Well, they had people that came from Chicago, New York, all over the country, and they stayed at the Peabody.
Yes.
And sometimes those people would come back from hunting and maybe have a few drinks on the way.
Yes.
It was before it was needed to have live decoys.
Decoys.
And so some hunters brought back a half a dozen or so of little English calling ducks.
Yes.
And put them in the fountain there at the
And
Peabody.
and that's the way they
And
originated.
that's how they started it there. And
Right.
now it's worth going down and see
Oh,
them.
yeah, it's worth going down to see them. I
And
mean,
then go up on the roof and see where they live.
yeah, and they come down the elevator.
Yep. There's
you
a
know.
farm here
Yeah.
that there's two guys. One of them's a pretty old guy. I can't think of his name still, but they actually raise these ducks out on this farm.
And they train them.
Well, if you put corn, you can train them to that.
exactly.
Well, Frank, you just opened up a whole new can of corn, so to speak,
Yeah.
on that aspect. But
You could find out some more about it. They actually have duck tryouts.
they have duck tryouts.
Duck tryouts. Yeah. Not every duck gets to walk.
Oh, only the best duck gets
Yeah.
to walk. Wow. Okay.
Don't ask about what happens to the other ones.
I don't want to ask. They're on the plate that night. I know what they with some fancy dessert that goes along with it, but there's only Buck Gardner could figure that out. But let's close out this segment. Appreciate all you guys being here, Buck.
Thank you.
Thank you for stopping by. Always a special treat to have Buck Gardner in the studios, and a lot of people been praying for Buck, just as they've been praying for me and my cancer, and we just letting the Lord take control and following His guidance. But we're talking ducks on this last segment, so let's talk.
Hey,
about
Larry.
What?
I want to say one thing.
What?
You can't imagine how many people were checking with me.
Yes.
On you.
Oh.
You're so many people care about you.
Well.
And are praying for you.
I appreciate
it. I just want to thank all the people that prayed for me.
Yes.
And are still praying for me to get me through losing my wife.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you got some good family there, Buck.
Yeah.
And
we got good people, and we're fortunate men.
That's right. Thank you, Buck. It means a lot to me, and I know a lot of you folks out there. If you need a wild game speaker, I can go and be Buck's interpreter. But I've got a story to tell right now about my past 8 months that I'd be glad to share with any church group or
yes, sir.
Wild game, anything. If you want to hear what it's like to go through what I went through and what Bucks has gone through and what Marlene went through, and know how much we appreciate those nurses and doctors that don't get enough credit.
All the caregivers.
I'm going to say right now, hello Saturday morning to Sarah Beth Teagues out in Brownsville. She was my spinal tap nurse, and she listens to us every Saturday morning, coming from Brownsville to Baptist Cancer Center over there for spinal taps. And those people always have to look like they're having a good day. Anyway, thank you, Buck. But anyway, I want to ask each one of y'all. Buck's kind of said a little bit about why duck hunting, why waterfowl hunting. John, if you had a synopsis of that, it's coming to you, Frank. Get ready.
It's a love affair.
It is.
For me, it really is. I was 10 years old. When my uncle. Uncle Steve Bryan, I'll give him a shout out.
Well, my uncle Perry's the one that took me.
He's the one that introduced me to it at 10, and those were the days when you were a kid. I mean, there were no clothes for kids. It was hand-me-down everything. And I was wearing these waders that were 5 sizes too big and freezing to death.
Yeah.
And when I saw those ducks flying in the sky over Satarsha, Mississippi.
Yes.
Well, shout out to Satarsha.
There you go.
It changed my life forever. It became my life eventually.
You still
it is now.
You still
and
remember that.
Oh yeah, man. It was watching those birds just fly.
How old
were
you?
10.
You were
10 years old. So
okay.
This is season 44.
Now you've told us how old you are now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's become not just a hobby for me. It's 365. Between everything I do for Ducks Unlimited to my love of the dogs, the guns, all of it, it just, I'm involved with it 365 days a year.
How about it, Frank?
Well, I did not start duck hunting until I was 21 or 22 years old.
Okay.
And when I started, it was just going out duck hunting, and that's all it was, just duck hunting. I just wanted to go out there and shoot ducks. But then I got interested in the dog aspect of it. Yep. And the truth be known now, 90% of the reason why I go duck hunting now is for the dogs. The other 10% is my grandson and my son.
There you go. Yeah.
But so don't tell them that they're the 10% and my dogs are the 90%.
No.
But watching dogs do what the good Lord gave them to us for, and seeing the heart and desire that they've got is really what gets me out there right now. It's what's going to put me out there a little bit later on today.
Well, before I let Buck talk, I've got to let y'all know I've grown up a deer hunter. Okay, I'm just the way it's been. And when I became outdoor editor of the Commercial Appeal in 1988, in April of 1988, when Henry finally retired after 44 years.
Yeah.
They took his. They didn't give me his truck. They wouldn't give me any. I did get a bow, I think. I got a rifle because they had to give that to me because I had my name engraved on it. But I didn't get the motor or anything like that. But a gentleman that Frank knows, John Kreiner. The late John Kreiner took me on my first duck hunting trip with his son, Keith, who's now a noted doctor in Jonesboro up there. And John opened his sporting goods store and told me, I know Columbia, pick out what you want to wear. And so we had hot dogs and we killed ducks. And so I always owed that to John to show me the fellowship side of it. Of course, he was a taxidermist and everything. But some of my best memories were created with friends like Buck there and other ones. But it all started with my dad was a used car salesman, a new car. He had the Kaiser Fraser dealership in Arkansas. That tells you how old I am and lets you know what was the Kaiser Fraser. That was a car, okay? But been fortunate to hunt a lot of places in my capacity at the paper. But you guys, I can see the passion. I've never hunted with you, John, but I've got so many memories of hunting with Frank Barton right there and his crew, and hunting with Buck and knowing Buck's family, them boys and that girl and everything else that has been a lot. So I want to thank all three of y'all for helping make this a duck, waterfowl, so to speak, mostly radio show this morning. And I think it really meant a lot to have Buck in here with us to inspire us and inspire our leaders and our listeners that are out there. But thank you, guys. I will let you audience know that we'll switch back to another area next week. Ron Wong will be back in studio, and you'll have an idea what we'll talk about there. But 2 weeks, the Graybeard Adventure will be in studio. Dale Sanders, already broken all these records for battling the Mississippi River, 87 years old. He's in Montana right now.
You talk about inspiration. That guy inspires me.
So he's going to spend a lot of time in 2 weeks on that first Saturday in December with the Graybeard Adventurer himself. And he's got some more things he wants to do to break all these records. Again, Buck, love you, brother. Thank you for being on. Frank, thank you, buddy. John, thank you. It was a tie between you two guys. All right. Shelby.
And everybody get a chance. Take kids hunting.
That's
right. Do it, please.
And don't forget, it doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else? God bless the USA.